Hi everybody, I just wanted to record a quick video on how to draw your letters for your perspective lettering project. The things you're going to need for this project are a pencil, an eraser, a ruler, or straight edge, and a marker. Also, you're going to need a piece of paper, the bigger the better. And there are two different styles. One style fits your word into parallel lines. This is the 1-point perspective style. So each letter will get fit inside those parallel lines. The other style that you can choose to use is the 2-point perspective, and what this is a little more complicated, but your letters get fit into an angle of two lines. So there's two lines that intersect at a point either on your right side of the paper or on the left side of the paper. And this will just create a slightly different effect. This video is going to demonstrate the 1-point perspective. If you want to do the 2-point, stop the video and find the tutorial on 2-point perspective lettering. So the first thing I'm going to do is, with my paper, I'm going to draw two parallel lines, either towards the top half of my paper or towards the bottom half. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the top half. And you want your letters to be anywhere from 3 to 5 inches tall. And you want to be able to spread them out and draw them using stick letters. So I'm going to do trust. So trust only has 5 letters. So the whole time that I'm working, I'm thinking about fitting 5 letters onto my paper. If you have a word that has 8 letters or more, think about either shortening it. So for instance, adventure could be shortened to travel or something like that. Or do some mental math and count how many letters you need and make sure that the first half is fit in the front and the second half is fit in the back. After I've put in my letters with sticks, what I'm doing right now is I'm just outlining each letter with a blocky style lettering. You could outline with bubble, you could outline with script. The key thing here that I'm paying attention to is I'm just making sure that I draw a relatively equal box all the way around the sticks so that they're equally thick all the way through. So I'm just kind of following that outline. You don't want them too skinny, so if you're drawing letters that are only like a ½ inch thick, try to puff them up a little bit more. And I'm just following around. The reason that you do wireframes is it is helpful and easier to do S's and A's and R's and things like that, so that is why you see me doing that here. But I'm just double checking that my letters are the same height, width, and thickness. The one thing I notice right now looking at my trust is that the R is like a little too far over. So I'm going to actually, when I go over it with Sharpie, you'll see what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shift the R a little bit. If you don't have a Sharpie, that's okay. You can also just go over it with a darker pencil or a ballpoint pen. The key here is that you have a nice thick, bold line. Or you can skip Sharpie entirely, because if you're like me and you fear making mistakes with Sharpie, you don't have to do Sharpie at all. You can just use pencil. And so then I also have a little bit of space to stretch that U out a little bit to fill, which is great because I moved the R. So then as I finish up this outline, I just want to repeat, you want to make sure your letters are the same height, relatively the same thickness. If you're a perfectionist and you want to use a ruler for this outlining part to make them nice and crisp, now is the time to do that. And then I'm going to just, because I used a marker, it's easy to just erase those extra pencil marks that I used as guides. I also don't need the parallel lines anymore. I'm just going to erase all the pencil and just brush off the dust and just erase the pencil lines so that I'm left with a nice clean lettering. The next part would be to do the perspective lines. So that is in a separate video. So if you're doing this process, find the video that says 1-point perspective lettering. step 2. If you have any other questions or challenges, please feel free to email me through Google Classroom.